So the question that you raise about the fuel issue and the fuel subsidy, I think the president is right. It's unsustainable. And the reality is that in the budget that we have today, we don't have an allocation of the fuel subsidy for a long period of time, because government and IMF had an agreement that I think by November, the subsidy will be off the mark and government will not be subsidizing fuel. And so the budget didn't cater for that. So at some point in time, I think we will see the fuel subsidy being removed. And so the challenge will be, how do you navigate that period in time?
Yes.
The shock of rising prices. It will be a tough thing for the president to come in and your government is not able to cushion the public in terms of fuel subsidy. So I think my thinking is that they will have to renegotiate about that and try to readjust on how people absorb that. Because ideally, how the stabilization fund that ended up into a fuel subsidy issue became, that stabilization fund was supposed to be able to cushion the public in terms of absorbing the rising prices of fuel. So it's not a subsidy, but prices are able to increase gradually,
yes,
so that the effect is not as impactful. So you're not hit hard by the impact. So if the fuel was supposed to move by 10 shillings to 20 shillings to 30 shillings, so it grows gradually and you're able to absorb it in terms of business and people and households. I think that should be the model, that if you're trying to run out the fuel subsidy, I think we should gradually make sure that we run out in a gradual process.
Yes.
The other thing is about UNGA that you mentioned. I think the problem with part of that is much of production also. So we have a shortage in maize. I think that can be cushioned with short-term imports and the cost of production. I think those are the two main things that they should be looking at in terms of addressing the issue about UNGA. But lastly, when I talk about the fuel, the problem is also with the subsidy is that it has an income distribution problem. Because what we do with the subsidy largely is that we are collecting money, and then that money we are able to give very few people who are the oil marketers.
Yes.
And so the people who are benefiting in the subsidy eventually are the oil marketers. It's not the general public. Because you're still paying it through taxes. I think the other position that the government might be looking at is probably reduce the taxes, because that means the public will remain with the money. So the effect is largely with everyone.
But then again, that can't happen, you know, affecting the tax change or tax regime on fuel, fuel products. That won't happen overnight.
No. It can happen. So long as, first we see this government has the numbers in parliament. What we need will be a supplementary budget. In fact, we are definite that the supplementary budget will be coming up anytime soon. And so if parliament has the number, the government side has the numbers, the Kenya Kwanza has numbers, you can be able to amend the law in terms of tax amendments,
yes,
and be able to cushion that. If the moment that passes into law, KRA has to effect, because that is the law.
Okay.
So it will probably some weeks, maybe less than 1 month, and the effect will be taking off.